Hello my dear students, in this lecture we will see one previous year GATE numerical which was asked in GATE 2016. The question is, a machine element xy fixed at x and x is subjected to axial load force P, transverse load F and twisting moment T at its free end y. The most critical point from the strength point of view is. Now in this question our target is to find critical point. Now see, here the component is subjected to axial tensile load P. Here the component is subjected to axial tensile load P. Now at each and every cross section, if I see each and every cross section, the same tensile load P will act. Therefore can I say the P is constant here. Applied load, tensile load P is constant. Again the torque applied is constant. Again the torque applied is constant. Now due to this force F, can I say there will be a bending moment. The beam is going to bend due to the applied force F. The beam will bend like this. See, this will be the bending shape. This is how the beam is going to bend, right, due to force F, right. And as the length increases, as length goes on increasing, the bending moment goes on increasing. See here, let us say at free end, if I consider x is equal to 0, and at x location x, if I consider x is equal to L, then and at any location at distance x from the free end, what will be the bending moment at x? This will be force into perpendicular distance, that is x, force into perpendicular distance, which is x. Therefore this bending moment at any location will be maximum. This bending moment will be maximum when x becomes equal to L, that is F into L, means at fixed end. Therefore bending moment is maximum at fixed end. At each and every location applied load P is constant, torque is constant, but the bending moment is maximum at fixed end. Therefore from this data we can definitely say the fixed end is critical loaded. Fixed end is critically loaded because bending stress or bending moment at this location is maximum. Now again at critical location we have to find critical element. Now let us go for critical element. Now we know that the fixed end is critical location. This is critical location, right? Therefore at critical location we have to find critical element. Now let us say at critical location the cross section is circular. Let us say at critical location the cross section is circular, right? And this is the center of circle. Now let us say one point. See, due to bending moment, due to force, the beam is going to bend like this. See, this is a beam. And due to force F, the beam will bend like this. This is a bending shape of beam, right? Now here the axis is going to bend due to force F. The axis is going to bend, means for such type of bending, the lower fiber is subjected to compression. And upper fiber is subjected to tension. Right? And on axis there is no stress. On this axis, if I consider bending stress, there is no bending stress, right? Now we will consider different points over here. Let us say on at location x, at lower fiber I will consider element A. On upper fiber I will consider element B, right? On left side I will consider C, and on right side I will consider D. And let us say at exact center there is a element E. At exactly center there is a element E, right? Now at fixed end we have considered the elements. Therefore I will draw the cross section at fixed end, that is location x. This is the cross section at location x. Here it is a cross section at location x. And if I represent the elements, see, if I represent the points or elements that we have taken, upper element is B, lower element is A, left side is C, right side is D, and exactly center is E. Right? Now our target is to draw stress distribution and our target is to find critical element. Here our target is to draw stress distribution and our target is to find critical element or critical loaded point. Right? Now the component is subjected to direct tensile force P. the component is subjected to direct tensile force P. Due to this direct tensile force P, there will be direct tensile stress, and this tensile stress will be at each and every location. Therefore, if I draw direct tension stress distribution sigma T, which is nothing but P by A, and here area is constant, P is constant, which is constant. This is direct tension stress distribution. Here, if I draw stress distribution at each and every location, it is tensile, and the value will be constant, which is nothing but sigma T, sigma T, sigma T at each and every location. It is sigma T, which is constant. Therefore, it is constant variation. There is no variation of direct tensile stress. Now, again, due to twisting moment, there will be a torsional shear stress distribution, which is nothing but torsional shear stress is equal to T by J into R. Means torsional shear stress is directly proportional to radius power 1, which is nothing but linear stress distribution. Linear stress distribution. Now that means if I go outside, torsional shear stress goes on increasing. Means at from E, as I go outside, the torsional shear stress goes on increasing, and at extreme fiber it is becoming maximum as I go outside from E on extreme fiber, that is outer circumference of the shaft. The outer circumference of the shaft is subjected to maximum torsional shear stress. Now at D again, if I go outside towards D, the torsional shear stress goes on increasing linearly, the linear variation, and becomes maximum at point on circumference. The torsional shear stress goes on decreasing as we go outside and becomes maximum on the circumference. Therefore, for torsion, circumference is subjected to maximum torsional shear stresses, and at E point, the torsional shear stress is 0. This is torsional shear stress distribution. And if I see bending stress distribution, the sigma B is equal to M by I into Y. Therefore, sigma B is directly proportional to Y power 1. Again, this distribution is linear, but Y is nothing but from neutral axis upward distance or downward distance. Y is nothing but from neutral axis upward distance or downward distance, right? Therefore, if I draw bending stress distribution, right, we have to locate the points first, right? Here in direct stress distribution, here there will be a B, A is downward, and C, D, E are at same line, C, D, E, right? Therefore, here point B, point A, here C, D, E. Now bending stress distribution, as we go up, bending stress goes on increasing linearly and becomes maximum on extreme fiber, right, sigma B. And as we go down, bending stress goes on decreasing, increasing and becomes maximum on extreme fiber, sigma B. Now look at the diagram, the bending is like this, hogging bending. Such type of bending is called hogging bending. And point A is on lower fiber, and point B is on upper fiber. Means point A is under compression for bending and point B is under tension for bending. Therefore, at B this is positive bending stress, and at A this is negative bending stress. At A this is compressive bending stress, which is nothing but negative bending stress. This is how we can calculate stress distribution. Now from the stress distribution, from all these stress distribution, our target is to locate critical element. Now we will locate the critical element for these stress distributions, right? Now consider point. Let us say if I consider point E, or let us say I will start with A, point A. Here I am considering point A. At point A, torsional shear stress is maximum, tau, which is nothing but tau, right? Torsional shear stress. Again, at point A, there is direct tensile stress sigma T. Therefore, direct tensile stress sigma T. This is sigma T. And bending stress is compressive, which is nothing but negative. Means we have to subtract this from sigma T minus sigma B. Sigma T minus sigma B. This will be the stress distribution at point A. If I see point B, at point B, there is maximum torsional shear stress. Therefore, tau, right? At point B, tensile direct stress sigma T, as well as bending stress is tensile. Therefore, sigma B will add in sigma T. Bending stress is also tensile. Therefore, sigma B will add in sigma T. Now, if I consider point C as well as D, what I am saying, If I consider point C as well as D, on both point the same stress will be there. At C as well as at D, there is torsional shear stress tau. There is torsional shear stress tau, right? And there is direct tensile stress sigma T. There is direct tensile stress sigma T, but there is no bending stress. But there is no bending stress. Therefore, bending stress is 0, right? And if I consider point E, last point, that is point E. If I consider point E, that is last point. Now at E, look at point E. There is no torsional shear stress. There is no bending stress. There is only direct tensile stress sigma T. There is only direct tensile stress sigma T, right? This is the state of stress at different points. This is the state of stress at different points. Now, if you carefully observe the state of stress, if you carefully observe the state of stress in first, that is point A, from sigma T, sigma B is subtracting, and in point B, in sigma T, sigma B is adding. Means on element B, there is torsional shear stress as well as there is tensile bending stress and tensile normal stress, direct tension, right? Therefore, out of all the points, can we say that point B is critically loaded? B is critically loaded, right? Therefore, therefore we can say that at fixed end, that is at location X, B point is critically loaded, that is upper point. At location X, upper point is critically loaded. Therefore, whenever failure starts, the failure will always start from the point B because it is critical point, failure point. Therefore, it is called failure point. B is called failure point. Means in total design, if you safe this point B, then entire beam is safe. If this point B is safe, under safe zone, then each and every point on the beam is under safe zone. Therefore, our design must be for this point B. Thank you, dear students. In next lecture, we will see one more numerical on theories of failure topic.